Hello, you're listening to Ultra Q, episode 132, I believe. Right?
Yeah.
My name is Red, I'm joined by Mel.
Okay, listen.
Yeah.
I know she's mad that I killed the aliens, but if I act real chill about it, maybe she'll still let me hit.
Exactly. You just gotta give off a vibe. What vibe is that? Awful. Awful vibe. Also joined by Brad.
Watching three people crash their planes in the distance, they were the best.
We are here this week to watch 3 episodes of a Hanna-Barbera Ultraman show that never happened.
Well, yes. I guess in a sense.
The adventure began and then it ended.
Yeah.
The adventure began and then it immediately
you know what?
ended.
They were the best.
Everyone else needs like 50 episodes.
They just speed ran it.
Yeah, so we watched a Hanna-Barbera Ultraman movie,
Yep.
which was very funny when it was like Mel was like, oh, this is like the American like co-production movie with, you know, like the original language was American, and I was like, oh, neat. And at no point did I actually think about that, because if I thought about that for more than like five seconds, I would have asked the question, who made this movie? And obviously it's a Hanna-Barbera movie. And so it looks like fucking Scooby-Doo shit. Mel, do you have an explanation on what this movie is and how it happened?
Yes.
Do you want to go?
Can I predict something?
Yeah, go for it.
Which is, I feel like, too obvious. At some point during the Ultraman dormant period, someone got the genius idea, what if American money?
I mean, that is like half of it, yes.
Yeah.
No Japanese money, maybe American money. Alright, so if you recall from the story episode, Tsuburaya had been trying to get some movies off the ground for a while with limited success. One of those aforementioned movies was The Jupiter Effect, an idea spawned from 1978 to... It was spawned around 1978 to 1979 as a potential American co-production in an effort to bring the Ultra series to the West. Previously, the original Ultraman was dubbed and aired in the US in the 60s, but it has obviously been a good while since then. The writer for the script was a man named Jeff Segal, who would later work on The Smurfs and go on to be head writer for the 80s GoBots TV series and the 90s show Exo Squad. The plot involved an alignment in the planets in the year 1980 that results in a kaiju army attacking the Earth, and then a new Ultra hero would emerge by fusing with a NASA astronaut, and the Ultra Brothers would probably also show up as well. Filming was set to begin in 1979, but basically at the last minute, the project was cancelled before the Japanese crew was set to depart the US. The completed script would end up being repurposed for a weird dubbed compilation movie of the anime The Ultraman, released in the US as The Adventures of Ultraman in 1981. Note that this would later be followed up with by Ultraman 2, The Further Adventures of Ultraman in 1983, which is another dubbed compilation movie of specifically the first 4 episodes of the anime, but also having zero connection continuity-wise with the first movie.
I see.
I think the characters are renamed too.
Mm-hmm.
There was a moment between earlier on before we finished Leo where I proposed maybe doing that movie in between Leo and 80, and you've both shut it down, probably recently, but it would have been funny. Meanwhile, the core concept and premise from the script would later be revisited when planning began for Ultraman Great, which we'll get to shortly.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ultraman 80 happened, and Tsuburaya Productions found itself in a more dire situation financially than before. The idea of producing Ultraman movies and trying to extend the brand's global reach was not off the table, but was definitely more of a high-risk, high-reward gamble, given the company's position. One of these projects is the previously mentioned Ultraman Monster Bible, which we talk about the Ultra movie next week. But beyond that, Noboru Tsuburaya was still interested in pushing for overseas projects. It is also worth noting at this time, in 1981, a new commissioner for the FCC was appointed in the US known as Mark Fowler, who basically didn't give a shit if kids were influenced by advertising and entertainment. This led to slashing of advertising regulations, thus leading to a big wave of merchandise-driven cartoons that became prominent through the 80s. Thank you, Ronald Reagan.
I'm always saying, someone play the clip, the edited clip of Ronald Reagan saying morality is subordinate to the class war. And uniting the proletariat.
Yeah. When the corporate sharks smell blood in the water, they're eager to feast, and the desperate Tsuburaya was no exception, especially once Japanese IP starting to be sold more successfully in US markets, even if it was primarily in butchered forms, like Robotech or Voltron.
Oh, fuck, this is that. Okay, yeah.
We're not the Japanese shows being actually brought over as themselves yet, even in bizarre localization choices yet. That's the 90s, after all.
Mm-hmm. That, the Pokemon has to happen.
Yeah. Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball, etc.
Yeah.
Between 1981 and 83, Tsuburaya set up an American subsidiary called Ultracom in order to continue down the path of developing an American film. This new film, still intended to be a live-action production, was called Ultraman, Hero from the Stars, and it's written by Donald Glut, who also wrote the Empire Strikes Back novelization. And also go on to write episodes of GoBots, DuckTales, and the 90s X-Men cartoon, among other things.
The 90s X-Men cartoon is absolutely my reference point for this movie, I'm going to be honest.
That makes sense. The plot was going to be about dinosaur demons showing up to take over the Earth. Hi, Getarobo, I guess. And according to Glut, Tsuburaya approved the script, but ultimately the movie didn't get off the ground for reasons unclear to him. One possible reason is the budget constraints made a live-action movie difficult to produce, which led to an animated work being pursued instead. This is incidentally why, when Ultraman came back in 1979, it came back first as an animated show before they made 80s. So, Seems the decision to make an anime film was made around 1985, and that Tsuburaya found a willing collaborator in the esteemed animation studio Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah.
I assume that Hanna-Barbera needs no introduction to people listening to us, but regardless, it does seem at the time the company was also not doing so hot in the wake of new, more exciting cartoons hitting the screens in the 80s. No one wants to see the fifth redo of the Flintstones, I guess. When Tsuburaya approached them for a deal to co-produce a new merchandise-driven show, they were quick to accept. In 1986, the project went to full production. Animation would actually be done by the Japanese studios Sign and Ashi Productions, but to be honest, to my understanding, in the 80s it was actually pretty commonplace for American companies. They'd outsource a lot of their animation to Japanese studios. If I'm not mistaken, I think there were particularly well animated 80s/90s Scooby-Doo movies that were just done in Japanese studios, despite being Scooby-Doo movies. So, Hanna-Barbera will have a history of this going forward still.
Yeah.
The director was Mitsu Kusakabe, who looks like he's going to be the head director of Ultraman Kids as well, so Brad can give us a bio for him then.
Well, I do want to say, because I did look at what else that guy's been involved in.
Yeah?
He is best known for doing 4 years of the Kirby anime from the 2000s.
Oh, nice.
Or 90s, whenever that was. Whenever that Kirby anime was.
It was the 2000s.
Yeah.
The Japan era.
Yeah.
For some reason, they made the box art for Nightmare in Dreamland in the US based on the anime, despite the fact that it's has nothing to do with Nightmare in Dreamland.
No. It was a popular show. Yeah. I watched it. A lot of people I knew watched it.
It was the first anime I watched subbed.
Wow.
Anyway. Meanwhile, the screenplay is credited to John Eric Seward, which turns out is actually a pseudonym for 4 different American writers we don't know the names of. Also worth noting that one of the creative producers was Jeff Segal, who was at the time working at Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah.
As for the new Ultraman designs, they'd be done by Keita Amamiya, who had done character designs for various Toei hero shows like Spielban, Kamen Rider Black, and Jetman. He would then go on to become the director for Kamen Rider Zeto and the J movies, as well as the Hakaider movie, the horror toku duology, the Zira movies, and eventually in the mid-aughts, he'd become the creator of the Garo franchise. So you know. Bit of a big deal in toku space.
Yeah.
The early plans for the pilot had the working title "Evil Men." The working plans were going to be called "The Evil Men That Do," the Evil That Men Do in Ultra Adventure, and a cast of 5 Ultra heroes, but this was cut down in the final film. all things considered, it seems that production communications between the two companies went smoother than you expect for foreign collaboration, and there were no issues that arose during the production between the two companies. Note that this will not be true of future foreign co-productions necessarily. Things to keep in mind for the future. I found inconsistent information on whether they developed a pilot film from the jump or whether they reworked the first few episodes into a pilot film for promotional reasons later. However, this does bring us to the real issue that the two studios are facing, trying to find a TV network who is actually interested in airing the show. Because on one hand, you have like Hanna-Barbera being seen as basically a dinosaur of an animation studio, and on its last legs. And the other hand, you
started with fucking Tom and Jerry.
Yeah. On the other hand, you have a Japanese studio basically no one has ever heard of in the US. And to top it off, this show came across as, well, for obvious reasons, yet another of one of many toy-based cartoons of the decade that was saturating the market. And by this time in the late 80s, it was already starting to decline. The trend didn't get on soon enough. This movie would be called Ultraman: The Adventure Begins, which is what we watched, and was aired on US TV on October 12th, 1987, which means we accidentally did this pod in the wrong order. I'm sorry for our sins.
We skipped the queue.
Yeah, we did. And if you remember, 1987 is the year that TNG started, and also was in between Double Zeta and Short Circuit Attract.
The flow of time is convoluted in the late 80s.
Yeah. So it aired on a pretty okay time block.
Thanks to Ronald Reagan.
Thanks. Yeah. Got pretty okay time block and seemed to get pretty okay good views, but also it wasn't the best time block it could have been, and it didn't perform in the way it needed to, and it got overshadowed by other things airing the same day. So, I guess you call it like middling. Like it wasn't like it didn't like create. It wasn't like a disaster, but it was like this did not launch the franchise in the way it needed to. Also, it never got a theatrical release as far as I can tell either, so basically any plans to continue the TV series were put to bed. It seems like a lot of things went right, but the timing was not there. Like, it was too late.
Yeah.
Even so, Tsuburaya would insist on pressing on, and ideas from this project would also go on to influence Ultraman Great in the future. So, using the whole buffalo, I guess.
Yeah.
Incidentally, the composer of the soundtrack, Shinsuke Kazuto, would also do the soundtrack of Ultraman Great. This movie would later be released in Japan in 1989 as Ultraman USA as part of the film festival. Or as they knew it, like Doki Doki Ultraman.
Okay. Yeah.
Because of its nature as a foreign co-production, and also the fact that for the longest time, people didn't know that John Eric Seward was a pseudonym, it actually been difficult for the movies to get released outside of Japan in the decade since.
Right.
It really wasn't until July of 2024 when Mill Creek announced they would release a new release of the movie was coming, both with an English dub and the Japanese dub with subtitles. However, due to rights issues, the original English audio could not be included, so they went with a new dub. This presumably be how a lot of people went up experiencing the movie for now, just because it's a legally accessible version, but also we went for I think for the most part went for the historical version. The old one.
Oh yeah, I watched the original dub.
Also,
I could tell because it wasn't very good.
it was the one that was more available on the high seas. So, I will note that I watched both to compare, so I will talk about that later.
That's very funny homework to have to do.
I am crazy like that. The three Ultras in this movie have also appeared a couple times side stuff in stage shows, so there are physical suits of them. I can share those images if you want. Like,
okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, there's we got.
They're ultimately just their Ultraman suits.
Yeah, but they got some neat differences. There's Scott,
Ultraman Scott,
Scott, and there's Ultra Woman Beth.
I do think I ultimately is this Woman Ultra the first where I've not seen the head and gone, okay, come on. Like the other ones have had like twin tails, and it's been like, you have to try better than this.
Yeah. I mean, this suit does have pronounced lips in a way that like freaks me out a bit, but also
Oh, let me see. Oh, it does. It does. Hmm.
Anyway, now for the cast.
Oh, I would like one final note.
Yes.
I don't like the shoulder pads on this bottom Ultraman.
On Chuck.
I think they're on Chuck, Ultra Chuck.
It did make me think, like, are they evoking like sporting, like a football man?
Oh, they might be.
That's kind of what I was like, because it's
Yeah.
American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because American, they can't make them look like a baseball players like they would have for a Japanese show.
I mean, because they're American, they've added the blue.
Yes.
Yeah.
Blue stars.
Blue stars.
The red, white,
For
and
everyone.
blue.
Oh, hang on. The woman Ultraman has a necklace.
Yeah, I was not a fan of that.
I didn't even
felt
notice.
I've
Oh,
only
it was
just
a
noticed
little-
this.
anyway,
Anyway.
this cast.
Yeah.
Scott is played originally by Mike Lembeck. In Japan, he's voiced by Toru Furuya.
Boo.
Oh, dear.
And
Oh,
then
well.
And then new dub, he's played by Kellen Goff, who plays the dub voice of Overhaul in My Hero Academia.
Oh, this is
Okay.
fuck. I have the Wikipedia article open. None of them have. Nobody's gone in and added the new casts. So someone should do that. I won't do this.
It's on the
Someone should
Ultraman
do
wiki
this.
at least, but not on Wiki.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Beth is played by Adrienne Barbeau, who played Catwoman in the Batman animated series, and Hera in
Okay.
God of War 3. Japanese voice is Hiromi Suru, voice of Bulma and Meryl from Trigun. The new dub is she played by Caitlin Glass, who is the dub voice of Winry from Fullmetal Alchemist, Maya from Evangelion, Hitomi in the 2016 dub of Escafone, Maki from Love Live, Kyoko in Danganronpa, Cammy in Street Fighter, and Oscar in the new Rose of Versailles movie.
Yeah, she's in a lot. Give me 1 second very quickly, because I think... No, she's not. You may continue.
Chuck in the original dub is played by Chad Everett, who's mostly more of a TV guy, including like a role in Mulholland Drive and the 90s Psycho movie. Japanese voice is Shinji Ogawa, who played Chief Fukushima and Pat Labor, Void in the 2010 Berserk movies, and also the final boss of Gokaiger, the Sentai season. And also, he was the dub voice of Michael Caine in the Nolan Batman movies.
What a role. I wonder if... what is the Japanese equivalent of doing a Michael Caine impression?
Ultraman Chuck's being like, Batman, Bane's the scariest guy I've seen in my life. The new dub voice is Amari Williams, who voices Whole Horse in JoJo and Zod in 2016 Berserk.
Yeah, this is my guy.
Zod's pretty cool. Susan Rand, OG voices Lorna Patterson, who seems to have the only notable role in her career being a role she played in Airplane, and then otherwise not much else.
Who'd she play in Airplane?
I think one of the stewardesses. I don't know the name of the character, but like,
Hang on, I'm going to Airplane right now. What did you say this woman's name was?
She
Lorna
played
Patterson.
Randy. According to her Wikipedia article, she played Randy, the blonde stewardess in the comedy Airplane.
Oh, she's the one that plays the guitar and knocks out the kids like drip feed.
I've never seen Airplane.
Airplane's pretty funny.
Her Japanese voice is Rihoko Yoshida, who plays Maria in Grandizer, Rosalie in the original Rose of Versailles, and the dub voice of Storm from X-Men. And her new voice actress is Kira Buckland, who many people are familiar with. She plays 2B in Nier, Jolene in JoJo, Umi in Love Live.
She plays the entire cast of the hit podcast Tubi in Nier Automata.
Oh. Walter Freeman, OG voice is Stacy Keach. Japanese voice is Kohei Miyauchi. New voice is Mike Pollock, not great guy, but voice of Dr. Eggman.
Yeah.
Andy OG voices Charlie Adler, played Buster Bunny in Tiny Toons, Starscream in Bayformers, and MODOK across many appearances in Marvel media. Japanese voices Kyoko Yamada, who plays the protagonist of Ultraman Kids, and also Max from the Pokemon anime.
Okay.
I fucking forgot about Max!
And the new dub voice is Brittany Lotta, dub voice of Mai from Ichijo, Chi-Chi in Dragon Ball Daima, and Foo Fighters and JoJo. And has also become the casting director for many of the Ultraman dubs in the modern era since Tsuburaya started putting out dubs.
Foo Fighters is such a tragic character in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, because imagine being named after that fucking band.
Listen. That band gave us the Aim for the Bushes clip. One day I should actually watch that movie.
I'm gonna be honest. I think you've seen the best bit of that movie.
Honestly, I have to assume I have seen the best bit of that movie. It's fucking Is it
Marky Mark.
Oh, it's Mark. Yes.
It's Mark Wahlberg and the guy off SNL.
If he was on that roof, it wouldn't have gone down.
Yeah. If I am for the bushes, it would have went differently. Did I ever tell you the time like I was visiting a family friend and they just put like a really bad Mark Wahlberg family comedy movie on?
Oh.
I thought you were gonna say Mark Wahlberg was there, and I was getting really excited.
Yeah.
If I was there, that casserole would have went different.
Yeah.
This is the funniest goddamn thing anyone has ever said in an interview unprompted. It's just skill issued 9/11.
Yeah.
Samson. Original voice is Ronald Chell, voice of Jason in Battle of the Planets, aka Joe the Condor from Gatchaman. Japanese voice Hiroshi Otake, who plays the final boss of Car Ranger, the Sentai season. New voice is Michael Sinter-Nicholas, voice of Leo in the 2003 TMNT, Dean from Venture Bros, Angelo from Gundam Unicorn, and Utaka from Naruto. That one's for Red.
How's that name spelled?
Utakaku. Utaka.
Utaka Naruto. Oh, is this Utakata?
Maybe it's Utakata.
Okay, this guy isn't canon. I'm off the hook. This guy is anime only.
Okay.
He's a fake tail. He's a fake Jinchuriki.
Wait, that's not a thing. Oh, okay. Whatever, Naruto.
That's not a what?
I was gonna say that. It feels like a big thing to make a fake of, but you know, whatever. They have their freedom.
Yeah, they made a fake one. They made a fake one because they made no. But here's the thing: because they made a fake Jinchuriki, there are segments of later canon episodes that filler guides are like, the next 10 minutes of this episode is filler because they refer to this guy who isn't in the manga, and I'm like, okay, you have to relax.
So, but did the manga eventually make a real guy for that one?
I think there's a bunch of them that are just kind of loose. They don't have guys
they don't
for
all
all of the
have a
tail
guy?
beasts.
Okay,
No,
okay.
a lot of the
All
tail beasts are already snagged.
Okay.
And then
And
finally,
he's the six tails. Anyway, go for it.
Ulysses. Original voice William Calloway, who played Aquaman in Super Friends and Beachhead and G.I. Joe. I have no idea who that is. Japanese voice Isamu Tenonaka, original voice of Igor from Persona.
Okay.
And new voice Ian Sinclair, dub voice of Dallas from Baccano, Gaddis in the 2016 dub of Escafone, and the narrator in Kaguya-sama, and also Jabril in the new dub of Sea Destiny.
The narrator in Kaguya-sama, that's a great role.
Yeah, I don't know how the dub narrator goes, but
Yeah, I mean that's a good point actually.
But yeah, that is all my production stuff.
Nice. Well, in which case we should probably talk about this movie. What happens in this movie?
So
three pilots.
A bunch of meteors come to Earth.
Yeah.
And drop off kaiju. And then 3 pilots die because they get flashbanged by Ultraman, but it's okay because they became Ultraman, so they survived.
They became Ultramen, so
and
it's okay.
They're given vacation leave because they're like, listen, we can't send you back up in the air if we can't have a good explanation for why you're not dead. And then they get contacted by Dr. Light, who's also the groundskeeper for a golf course, who has a secret base under the golf course.
This is an appropriate job for a guy associated with Ultraman.
And he's like, listen, you're Ultraman, and you gotta save the world from the kaiju.
You gotta save the Earth.
Yeah. And so they do that, and all the kaiju attack the various points of the United States of America, which is where this takes place. And there's 3 Ultramen, so they have like some team up stuff. They get to split up to take care of things. And one of them named Scott is like the ladies' man, or I guess aspirational, and has a weird romance with like a professor named Susan Rand, who's like, we've been trying to study aliens forever, and then the Ultraman just killed them. What's up with that? That's crazy. Which is, a critique we have of Ultraman as well. And then
the way the movie structures this is very funny. We'll get into that.
Yeah. And then basically there's like 4 different kaiju. One of them is like a friendly one. The Ultraman staple gets put in a bubble and sent away into the Andromeda Galaxy.
Bubbles, man.
And then the last kaiju is like one that like Susan tries to raise as like a pet for a little bit. And she's like, oh man, it's intelligent. And then it turns out it's actually a demon, and then destroys New York. And then the Ultramen team up and save the day. And they're like, oh man, now that we've saved the day, do we have to go back to the M78 Nebula? And then the scientist guy is like, well, you never know when more kaiju will show up. And so the movie ends with like, the adventure continues, except it doesn't because the show didn't get made.
The show did not continue.
But yeah, that's a broad stroke summary, but there's like the details I guess we'll get to.
Yeah. So first of all, I'm gonna open Notepad and write these down now so that I remember them. So the main guy is Scott.
Chuck is the other guy, and then there's Beth.
And then Beth, that's it.
I had a really weird moment with this. So these are, granted, I will accept, these are very common names. All 3 of these names are names of parents of best friends I had in high school.
Yes.
It was kind of weird.
That's really good.
Maybe all of these Ultramen happen to be from Wisconsin. We don't know where they're from.
At last, Wisconsinite Ultraman.
Yeah, they sure don't talk like it.
No.
Be like, oh yeah, we gotta fly down to the Quick Trip, get some brats.
They, clearly, from all the time spent in the military, they have to code switch towards...
I see.
But also, I guess they would talk to Wisconsinite. So. Also, this movie does just have a bunch of Louisiana people speaking like with funny accents. I don't know if it's actual Cajun accent, but they sure
got the people on. They got the people on the bayou. Yeah. It's This is This is very much of its era style Hanna-Barbera movie. I'm like, it almost needs no introduction if you ever watched a Scooby-Doo movie or you've ever watched I don't know, anything.
It is late 80s. Like if we said the words late 80s Hanna-Barbera Ultraman movie to you, you could write out word for word what this movie is. Yeah.
It is an often ugly stilted animated movie that like very occasionally is like we can draw some frames now.
Yeah.
When the monsters are on screen, they animate the hell out of them.
Yeah, I think fights are pretty good. It's so the characters I'm like whatever,
Yes. I think go for it.
It has the classic thing of 80s sci-fi hallways that are way too big and just like have random boxes and shit on the wall.
Yeah, this is like we
what is
add
that for?
greebles because it's realistic, regardless of like what's the purpose.
I think the transformation sequences are actually kind of cool.
Oh, they're really cool. We're a big fan of them.
There's like the one bit from the movie where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like, this is cool. I like this.
I mean, personally, I had a good time with it.
Yes,
I really liked this movie.
Would you say you really liked this movie?
I had a great time.
Okay, I think I probably had the worst time of you three. I was kind of bored, but that's okay.
I mean, this is like standard, but also it's like it felt like the fact that this is like a different script. It's not this guy's who's been writing Ultraman for like 30 years that we've seen all the plots of again. There's like a different take and a different like cultural context. That gives a bit of a novelty. I think the characters are nothing's exceptional, but like they're fine. They do the job well.
They're very stock.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scott, Chuck, and Beth are very much like of a mold.
No, I do like that Beth has a personality beyond woman, even if it's like still stock in a way. Like she gets to do stuff, and it's competent.
She gets to fight.
Yeah, and win on her own. And like Chuck is there helping her, but like he's helping in the plane, and like she's doing all the hard work, and he doesn't get to transform until later, and it's cool.
I was just like Starship Trooper voice. She's gonna fight, and she's gonna win. I guess I won't really lead because I'm not super high on this movie. What did you like?
I do have to make the joke about how Brad was also the one who liked Rising, the other American Ultraman movie, the most, which I think is funny.
True.
But also, what
I mean, I have accepted this. I do just think the part of my brain that is is working on the level of, do I think this is like cool to look at and like excites my imagination? I think it's always just going to be like more drawn in by animation and the way you can frame and portray things.
I think there is limitations to what you can do in live action, and also like when you're on a budget, especially with like miniatures and sets and guys in suits.
There's a shot where there's a part where like Beth is about to get like eaten by like the plant monster thing. They're kind of grappling back and forth, and we get like an internal shot from the perspective of inside the kaiju's body, of it like opening up its weird mouth thing, and there's like a pool of like plant acid inside, like digestive acid, and I'm like, that's like, you're not getting stuff like that in the live action ones as much. Because that'd be hard to do, just physically speaking. Hard to fit a camera in there, so. The thing, this really is, like, we touched on it, this really does feel like 3 or 4 episodes of the start of a series.
Like, I could just see so clearly, like, the episode breaks. I was like, this is 3 episodes stitched together. This is surely.
And it turns out it was.
Yes.
Complete to fade to black moments for the commercial break. Like, they're just built in.
Yeah.
So, like, we have the initial crash, and then figuring out that they've been merged with aliens. I can't remember the exact order of the early stuff, but at some point, they put their planes on autopilot because they're like, oh, it's tracking where we need to go. And their secret base is in the head of Abraham Lincoln in Mount Rushmore, which is the most American cartoon thing in this entire movie.
Crazy. It's so funny.
It's crazier for me because I'm like, I know the history, and so I'm like, oh yeah, Mount Rushmore is carved into the Black Hills, which is a sacred site for the Lakota and Plains Indians. And also, the sculpture of Mount Rushmore was a member of the KKK. So
Oh, I didn't know that. That's brilliant.
So the idea of like having the hollowed out base hollowing out Mount Rushmore to have a Ultraman base is like, this is like a level of passively evil that you don't understand what you're doing, even if it's also like the most American cartoon thing possible.
It's like it. However, it does also lead into like, of course, that's where the Ultraman poster.
Yeah,
that's of course naturally. That's Ultraman.
But remember, before they're Ultraman, they're Americans.
The also,
which does seem to be the approach of most American superheroes to like the world, to be honest.
Also, I don't think this is the thing everyone always says about Mount Rushmore. It's not actually that big. I don't think you could fly a plane to do its mouth like that.
I do like the photograph of Mount Rushmore from like any other angle, and it looks awful.
I just think it's evil.
Yes, it is.
It is evil.
But that aside, the robot mascots are funny in that they seem like the obvious thing that an American cartoon would do, but also feel, if this was in the 90s, it would feel downstream of Alpha from Power Rangers, but this is made in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And also Alpha is himself based off of the robot from Bioman, so
Right.
But they're fun.
I do like that robot in Bioman.
Yeah, he's fun.
I do like how one gets like, they're like Ulysses, Samson, Andy.
Yeah.
Why is Scott giving names that are like...
He's taking his job a little too seriously.
Yeah.
That's like, I'm gonna have fun with it.
I like having a little robot.
Like the names
Andy.
are like the Winnie the Pooh thing, where it's like the one with like the one lazy Pooh and then the one smirking Pooh with the suit.
I like the little robot called Andy, because my poisoned brain goes, oh yeah, like Andy the Bomb from Red vs. Blue. Who is obviously a Dark Star riff. Anyway.
But yeah, from here they go and get their first batch of like monster problems.
Yeah.
And then they like transform.
Like they have to fight the plant in Louisiana, but then also at the same time there's the electric kaiju in San Francisco. So Scott has to go alone, and that's where he meets Susan.
The scientist lady who's like, "Why don't you talk to them instead of trying to kill them?"
And then he's like, "Haha, want to go for dinner?"
Had not occurred to me. Yes. What do you? Yeah. You want to go for dinner? We'll talk about it.
She's like, "You're a murderer," and she's like, "Haha, do you come here often?"
He's such a fucking loser about flirting with her.
And then, like, before they have the like heart-to-heart conversation where they come to an understanding, he does just like wait outside her workplace and then tail her, and it's awful.
That's just normal.
And then
that's
just
80s normal.
Yeah, but also it is sociopathic. Or I guess like regular male patriarchy, which I guess is the same thing, but
yeah.
Also, this scene is how I knew this movie was animated in Japan, because there's a moment where it shows the traffic light and it's like blue instead of green.
Oh.
Yeah, I did notice that too.
It's so funny to have these sorts of character designs animated in Japan. It's
like they want the talent of like what the studio, and I guess presumably the crunch as well, of what the Japanese anime studios are putting out, but also they do have to adhere to the American design sensibilities, because otherwise like it's still the era where people are making Orientalist jokes about like anime design choices, like with the eyes and the hair and stuff. Yeah.
To be honest, I don't know that they're making those jokes yet. I don't know that it's there's coherent enough.
There isn't
an
enough
idea
anime
of it.
Culture presentation for people to like even have.
I feel like we're still too deep in the era of anyone who even understands the difference are the people that are like hunting in VHS shops for the cool weird like ones with the tits and the blood.
Yeah.
I mean, keep in mind, like, even I remember that initial batch of Toonami stuff, and like I've heard other people say this, but like even my experience firsthand growing up, like a lot of us back in the day watching this stuff didn't really even get that there was a difference between these are the American ones and these are the Japanese ones.
Oh yeah, Mel famously was like, I don't like anime. I like real cartoons. Like, what was it?
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, for whatever reason, I did make the distinction in my head between like Naruto is dumb, but Yu-Gi-Oh, that's cool.
I mean, now, Mel, you were correct.
Yeah, I know.
That is true.
It is true, but also, my reasons were wrong at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the thing I'm kind of like, and I'm kind of down on this movie. Okay. One of the sort of interesting things in this movie is that it does the like you can't just kill the kaiju thing. You have to be kind to the kaiju. But the monster designs, the kaiju designs, instantly reflect this.
They make it so obvious.
The dog situation again.
Absolutely a dog-wolf situation where the first kaiju where Scott and Chuck and Beth just kill them without thinking. They're like designed so evil. And then the moment Susan is like, did it never occur to you that you should be kind to aliens? The next alien that shows up is a little is just a big cute dragon, Pete's dragon.
This does remind me, we do have to say they don't call them monsters or aliens.
What do they call them?
Sorkins.
Is that what they call them?
They call them Sorkins, like the fucking writer.
I think that is like the name of the planet they come from.
Oh right, yes.
But also, everyone calls them monsters in colloquially. So
they're like a few good men's coming out. We got to stop that Sorkin.
I like how Scott's like, listen, that guy threw a building at me. I can't be diplomatic about
that. He specifically says the size of a redwood tree. I'm like, this is the most American shit.
Oh God.
The thing about like the friendly kaiju scene is it has two of the most really funny moments. One, I don't think either of them intentional. Okay. One is like the U.S. Guard when the Ultras try and save the kaiju's like, well, I guess we'll shoot down the Ultramen too. Yeah, which is the most like, well, this is what the American military would do thing in the world. And two is like when the Ultras like make the missiles collide and explode in space, but everyone thinks the Ultramen got killed, including Susan, and she's like, oh no, Scott or the Ultraman or whatever, and then her assistant is like, I'm sorry, Susan, but I got some news that'll cheer you up.
This also does have another never ski moment when the kaiju's introduced.
True.
Because he bursts out of the snow and kills that guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't kill him.
Why did they pick Utah for the skiing place, not Colorado?
Yeah. I mean, people can ski over there, but Colorado would have been the pick.
In the current year of 2026, when I think of Utah, I do think of Charlie Kirk.
Oh, I think of Mormons. I
mean, that's like the actual thing about Utah, but I just mean in terms of like contemporary things.
I knew someone who still called it Deseret.
Oh no.
It was really... that person was weird.
Well, I won't say that.
So yeah, the next part of this, we have Scott and Susan. Scott attempting to flirt with Susan, and eventually coming back to like the rest of the Ultras and being like, "Gang, maybe we shouldn't kill the next like alien Sorkin we see." And
this does not convince Chuck.
Yeah, Chuck's like, you've been talking to a woman?
And Beth is like, yeah, you've been talking to a woman.
Yeah. Yes, he has. So he has no defense.
It is kind of funny how as soon as Susan is introduced, suddenly Beth in particular starts talking to Scott like, oh, Scott always going after the ladies. I mean, this was not the impression I got immediately.
Now to be honest, they do establish this pretty early because like when they get told to be on leave, he does say,
"Oh, that's right."
He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go beach and pick up babes." Well, the other's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go see my family or something."
And then he goes to a pool, and I was like, "Damn, he gave up."
Yeah.
What are you doing? It's a very different experience.
He was lying. He doesn't have the confidence to pick up babes. It was becoming Ultraman gave him the confidence to pick up babes.
But not the overconfidence.
No, not over. Just the regular, healthy level of confidence.
Regular
confidence. And then the Pete's dragon attacks.
Yeah. And they put in a bubble like a Muggy and then put it into space.
Yeah.
I did laugh when Chuck shot the bubble to like make it go faster.
Yeah, they see him beam the bubble to send it further off. Yes. And they say, oh yeah, it's gonna send off to Andromeda.
But don't worry, so far away.
But don't worry, the bubble will keep it safe. It'll be comfy there.
This dragon's gonna show up in Mass Effect Andromeda too.
Oh, that game that's coming out.
That game, they're totally. Everyone loved the first one.
Everyone loved the second. Mass Effect
everyone obviously picks Andromeda because it's like the closest next galaxy, but they also forget how fucking far away another galaxy is.
Now, this is one thing Mass Effect Andromeda didn't forget because it's got really. I don't.
I meant with Ultraman because it isn't the first time we had Andromeda reference in Ultraman.
Yes. There is something really sort of catastrophic about knowing that back in the galaxy, Shepard did save the day somehow in one of the 3 different colored ways. And then in Andromeda, there are people who are like, yeah, I mean, it's been like billions of years or something, and everyone we know and love is so dead. It's possible humanity is completely extinct. But we're here, and they don't know that everything was fine.
But also, even if everything was fine, it's still been billions of years, so you don't know what happened.
Yeah, it's still been billions of years, but it's just something so wasted about it that is like, I'm like, this is so dire.
But also, that's just like the thing about time dilation that makes it like.
Mass Effect Andromeda 3 with the Gunbuster
shout out to
ending.
Gunbuster.
Yeah.
Time dilation reference to
I should read The Forever War.
I should also read that at some point.
Yeah.
Can't be long, right? Sci-fi.
That feels like a bad joke.
Listen.
I should read The Forever War. It can't be that long.
It can't be long.
Listen, this is also the podcast where I brought Dan Simmons, so
236 pages.
Yeah, that's nothing.
Hyperion seems like an anomaly in terms of how long those are.
Yeah. Back to this movie.
Yeah.
They send it to space, and all everyone, there's like the whole media situation where everyone's like, oh, we got our new heroes, the Ultra Force or whatever, and they're so cool and we love them, and they're clearly the 3 people that didn't die in that air show.
And also there's like there's 3 giant guys and also 3 pilots and also
Scott has been like on camera and like no one from the military has come to fetch him.
Yeah, I was actually thinking, I thought their boss would like be more present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not until later, it seems.
And the show that didn't get made.
Yeah. And then the last kaiju on our list is Impmon.
Yeah. I actually have the name. I actually wrote down the names of the kaiju, but I guess it doesn't matter too much in the end.
Okay, what's the name of this last kaiju?
Yeah, so let me just think. going down the list, the plant kaiju's called Green Shocks. The election one's called Garu Blade. The friendly kaiju's called Zune. And
they launched the Zune into the Andromeda Galaxy. That's where it went. That's what happened to Zune.
iPod won the argument.
Where the fuck did I put this?
Sorry, I talked over the last one. Who was the last one?
No, I was trying to find it because I thought I bolded it so I could. Like...
I mean, it looks like it could be called like Snarfkin or something. Let me tell you.
Wow.
Snarfkin. It's a combination of Snufkin from Moomin and Farfin, the artist on Twitter and Blue Sky.
Fuck.
Snufkin could handle the Ultramen if he wanted to.
Snufkin. How would Snufkin handle the Ultramen? Would he encourage them to chill?
That or he'd make them cry.
Yeah.
Well...
I'm still thinking about the fucking scene from the Moomin dub where he tells Moomin, "You're so white."
Well, just give me a second. I guess the last kaiju I didn't write down because I'm stupid.
Let's call him the little. Let's call him
King
cute
Myra.
little guy.
King Myra is his name.
Oh, what was it? Sorry, King Myra.
King Myra.
King Myra. So yeah,
And
King Myra is a little cute, little clearly evil guy, and this is an interesting sequel to the last guy in that, you know, Susan is like, oh, it's another cute one, and no, it's not. We're not capping this off with another cute one. We go evil cute. We have the revelation that, you know, the monsters can be cute, and then we have the revelation that no, we have to defeat this monster. So we kind of have a big action scene.
Well, first they put them in the devices, and she's just like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
They do torture this baby.
They strap the baby in one of those fucking like G simulator like
for astronauts.
For astronauts that spin you around really fast. I'm like, what are you doing?
And like her assistant is like the guy who hates Scott for being like a murderer and does this. And then meanwhile, the other scientist has a German accent because, of course.
We have to put it in the weird electrocution, but we can read your mind shock reader.
I'm asking that scientist what his profession was between the years 1935 and 1945.
Operation Paperclip got him. He's our guy now.
Yeah.
Obviously, so we introduce the beam that tortures the baby kaiju. And then later in this episode, so, act of the movie, Susan is like, well, now that the kaiju's evil, now it's morally okay to use the torture beam. Now it's okay.
It's funny that Ultraman 80 had an episode about this that wasn't like from the good part of 80, but probably has like ethically better.
Yeah. So yeah, all the Ultramen come back and they go to save the world from this huge menace because it's
specifically New York.
Well, sorry, the world. Open brackets, New York, close brackets.
There we go.
The Avengers classic.
Then they throw it out into the fucking sun.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Well, they also put this one in a bubble, but into the sun this time.
It's bubbles. Yeah. You have to be careful. You avoid all bubbles.
Well, Chuck is the one with the bubble powers, and he seems to be the most like Ultra 7 coded. Maybe.
I see.
But Scott gets the slashy blades, if I recall.
That's true.
And Beth has like water jet powers or something.
What she does is like she uses the ocean water as a jet to like kill the plant kaiju because it's salt water, and then she does it again.
So these ultras are weirdly water
the water powers with the woman is like also a bionicle thing.
That is true. Water powers are for women. However, Chuck has bubble powers.
Yeah.
So it's like two water powers, and then we've got Scott.
A bubble could also be like kind of an air power if you really want to squeeze it out.
Okay. It's like air water combination. You have to dual type to get bubbles. Except you don't, because you learn bubble on War Turtle.
True.
Does Pelipper learn Bubble Beam?
I don't know. You'd have to ask someone with more knowledge of Pokemon than the first 10 hours of Pokemon Red.
Anyway, the day's saved.
Yeah.
The day is saved.
I like that Scott saves Susan and does like the thing, and she's like, "Oh, well, now I know who Ultraman is."
Yeah, he does his little cross finger salute.
Wow, that's crazy.
Ah, it's him.
Imagine if Ultraman did this more often.
Yeah.
Like, I guess if this got, I don't know how much legs this show would have if they made it, but also like that would be a nice change of pace from the Ultraman shows we've seen. There's like, oh yeah.
Well, he started doing like Superman 2 stuff. Is he like erasing her mind at some point, her memory at some point in the show? I don't know.
My mind just went to Will Smith joins the Ultra Guard.
The thing I kept thinking about this show is I thought it was really interesting how like they have the advantage of having like 8 full ones of these beforehand to like they already have like a ground floor to see the ideas.
Because they also have like the other anime too, right? So
yeah, so like they have ample stuff to draw from for like seeding a lot of these ideas early for an audience that presumably hasn't really been introduced to them ever before.
Mm-hmm.
However, considering the state that Hanna-Barbera was in at this time, particularly being overshadowed by New Kids on the Block, who were seen as having not only better animation, but also just more interesting and more complex shows. Like, I think it's very funny that they partnered with Hanna-Barbera because they were, in a way, kind of the Tsuburaya of their time, too, in their industry.
Well,
I guess they're traditional, yeah.
Yeah, so, like, I don't really know if we got a full series, how much more they would push the envelope in terms of... Like, I feel like it'd be kind of a G.I. Joe, where it's, like, sometimes you get, like, a very special episode about something, but, like, I don't really know how much further they would have taken it from what we got here.
Would we get... like the one episode about like the USSR or Gorbachev?
We could.
That feels like a very American thing to do. Pizza Hut's coming soon, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't have any affection for this era of like English, like Western, like American animation. I don't have, I didn't really grow up with it in the sense that like I did, but I kind of, it's weird. It's like,
well, it's like it's English language media exported, but also like Britain has its own thing. That makes sense.
Kind of, but like really, like we had, like I was watching like a bunch of the like American cartoons, but really it was like earlier stuff getting rerun. Like I was getting like older. It was a lot of Hanna-Barbera stuff, but it was older stuff. It was like just constant Tom and Jerry is always on, like like original like Scooby-Doo stuff, like old Scooby-Doo stuff.
Old Scooby-Doo, old Flintstones, old Jetsons. That's kind of...
Whereas this era was like, I remember catching the occasional episode of X-Men, and I was just like, this isn't really my thing. Also, I had Batman the Animated Series. that I was watching obsessively. So I was this kind of stuff. I was like this. I was already an animation snob as a small like 4-year-old child, going like, this looks like also trash.
Worth mentioning that like X-Men and Batman were both like 90s series. I think like there's at least some sense that I think that like there's a difference between the 80s and the 90s. Cause I think like the regulations changed in the 90s, and also 90s when you get like Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, and that really changes the animation scene in a big way.
I kind of have a similar thing where, like, I see this style of animation and I am reminded of, like, oh, I'm at my older cousin's house and they have, like, an old tape on.
I also wouldn't say I have history of this, so I guess when I see this kind of animation, I just think of pork chops sandwiches.
Lol.
The thing, like, the one cartoon of this era that I remember liking was Thundercats, which I watched a fair amount of as a kid. But also, I only knew of because that shit was reran a lot for whatever reason. But yeah, I don't... Something about the way that, like, they get to just go all out on, like, oh, well, we don't need to be concerned about the restrictions of what can we do in turn... Like, they fly... He shoots the fucking power electric, like, kaiju into, like, an island and it, like, blows up.
Uh-huh.
In a way that I don't really quite think they do in a similar live-action version of events.
It'll be nice when we can actually watch the 70s anime, because that'll be a different experience for sure.
Yeah, like, I'm curious about what that's like, too.
The thing you don't get is human performances, right? You've got, like, these completely, flat faces that, like, they have lip flaps, and, I don't have anything to say about these characters, really, and the problem that we've had with Tsuburaya...
Clearly, what they should do is, like, the thing they did for Dinosaur Squadron Born Free, where half of it is live action, so you get the human performances, and then the action scenes are all animated.
Oh man, I think that's the theoretical adaptation of Legend of the Galactic Heroes that Jackson on that beach house kind of gestured towards as being, like, maybe the ideal version of that. But it's like I say this like Shin Ultraman technically isn't this because they're using CG for the kaiju. I mean, the thing with Tsuburaya is that we have often not really had, like, very strong characters anyway. Which has felt like a bit of a waste of, of having all these actors around. But when we get, like, the Leos and we get the
people that are working to be human and give human performances in spite of the weird direction they are getting.
The captain of Ultraman 80 carrying the entire last episode of the show across the finish line.
Did you two notice, or I don't know if I'm overthinking things, but did you notice that when they're flying around in their jets, they are doing the, like, 80s action snark of, like, whoa, we gotta make sure it doesn't hit downtown, or, like, like, that sort of, like, filler whatever shit. And as soon as they transform, they stop fucking talking.
Yes.
It was jarring to me.
Yeah, they go from, like, American cartoon to Ultraman.
Well, it's like Ultraman don't really talk like that. Ultraman's Ultraman. The one thing kind of missing from this is the idea that they have someone else in their head, in a way. Because they've got the sort of, like, they've got the Hideki Go, I'm now a host for Ultraman.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't really commit to that. I would say
it's almost like they pre-become one, like, automatically.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think the American imagination was there at the time. I think they see Ultraman, they're just like, oh, superhero.
Yeah, the
me explaining Ultraman to an American. So you know how when people say that Bruce Wayne also is Batman, but also really his real identity is Batman instead of Bruce Wayne, and that's the anyway. Continue.
To me, it's like the moment, like, when he salutes as Ultraman, and I'm like, you're not really a host for Ultraman. You're Ultraman. Which, it feels like an inevitable thing of, like, this doesn't turn into a series. This is we're just getting the one movie, and we're we're not going to be able to explore
Ultraman basically
anything
becomes
like
a power that they assume, and not necessarily
Yeah.
like a separate soul within.
Which is, a bit of a shame, but also...
Which is also
they
whether,
don't
like,
really
hey, do we
time
have
for
to leave like the Ultraman do at the end of their series? And it's like, no, not
that.
this.
Yes. No, not the... No. We wouldn't do anything like that. Don't worry about it.
It is a fun wrinkle that he does, like, act coldly to Susan because he's, like, doesn't sure if he has to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I hadn't thought about it, but it is really funny that the main character, like, intuits the normal ending of Ultraman, and then someone goes, "No, this is the American movie. What are you talking about? That's not happening."
Yeah, please stay tuned for the sequel,
No.
Ultraman: The Adventure Continues.
Which what it won't. The adventure will not continue.
Is this the Gundam F91 of Ultraman?
Oh, fuck. Well, I mean, first of all, F91 is one of the best looking Ultraman things ever made. So
Yep, one of the best looking
no.
Ultraman things ever made.
Sorry, one of the best. Well, fuck. Hang on.
You know, they does kind of have bug-eyed monsters in a way. They just don't have eyes. They're big frisbees.
My favorite BEMs. Is the
Those are the scariest frisbees ever brought to screen.
Oh,
They
They kill a family.
I guess that green kaiju looks a bit like the Felicia.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. This is one of the cooler plant creatures we've gotten in a minute.
Yeah,
I'd
which
say.
I guess maybe also has to do with like the fact it's animated. Like it might just be harder to do a plant monster when it's a guy in a suit.
I have already forgiven Hanna-Barbera.
I think one of them's dead by this point.
Oh, one of them is extremely dead. I can't remember which one.
I think they're both credited though as like executive producers along with Noboru Tsuburaya.
I mean, I'm just assuming they put that on everything.
Maybe
It's their money.
Oh no,
pretty sure it's Warner Brothers money now.
William
right,
Hanna
yeah.
died in 2001, and Joseph Barbera died in 2006. I thought for some reason one of them died way earlier than that. Never mind.
Oh, I thought you meant now as in, like, the real
Oh, no,
life
I mean,
now.
I know both of them are fucking
Yeah.
dead. I know both of them are fucking dead now.
I think
confused.
I think
I
Noboru
thought-
actually dies before both of them then, because he dies in the 90s.
Damn.
Because that's when we get the lawsuit with Thailand happening.
Oh, my king. What a guy.
6 months before
It's
9/11.
it's funny we've like had two co-productions and one of them is Hanuman and one of them is this.
Yeah. Hanuman remains very near the bottom of the list of Ultraman things we've watched, but I have strange affection for that movie after hearing all that story about the guy just deciding that he owns Ultraman now.
It's honestly pretty funny. I know people hate that guy, but it is kind of king shit what he did.
It's just the goal to just be
Ultraman
like
fans like really hate him. It's like, oh, did you know? Well, I guess
he
partly it's
stole
because like
Ultraman from us.
yeah, the devotion to IP as a concept.
So the other thing, because I do know that guy gets villainized as the reason Ultraman wasn't brought abroad in the capacity other Japanese properties were and all that. I have a sneaking suspicion if they did have that freedom, chances are they would have brought it over in ways you probably would still have not been happy with. Considering
the
historical
Power
record,
Rangers Ultraman Tiga.
Yes, exactly. Like Ultraman Dragon Knight, Oh, I guess that's a bad example. People like Dragon Knight.
People like Dragon Knight.
Yeah.
I think people in Japan even like Dragon Knight after they brought it over.
It's honestly it's kind of fun. I do want to watch that just to experience what
I
the
should
fuck
watch it at
it's
some
like.
point. And
I have friends.
The people
who
that
like
actually like Kamen Rider, so the Kamen also helps. But
yeah.
Anyway,
Ultraman Scott is kind of there's a bad mouthfeel to that. I don't like it.
Ultraman Scott.
Beth. Ultraman Chuck.
My friend's dad, whose name was Chuck, was so
it fucks me up. Chuck looks like Ultraman King if he shaved.
Yeah, a little bit.
How would he shave? That's his face.
No, don't worry about it.
My friend's dad, Chuck. You got to keep in mind that this was an era where, Chuck Norris jokes were all the rage.
Yes.
We decided to make a series of jokes about how his dad was super awesome and it made him deeply uncomfortable, so he kept doing it because we were asshole children. And my two favorite ones that I remember is that my one friend said that if Chuck put both of his arms out and spun around 3 times, he would cause a tornado.
Uh-huh.
And then my favorite one that I came up with was that he was in the Navy. And I used to joke that his job was that he was the torpedo, because they'd shoot him out to sink the boat and he'd swim back.
That's pretty good.
That's
a pretty good one.
Yeah.
I
brought this back up to him a few
8.
years. A few years back, I went out drinking with him, and I asked him if he remembered any of those jokes and how much he hated them, and he goes, "Yeah."
Nice, excellent. That's what you want.
Yeah.
I was gonna give it 8 chucks out of 10. I'm giving it 9 chucks out of 10. Get upgraded.
Kind of awful, to be honest.
It's stuck with him. The kids are awful. Have you considered that the kid had bad vibes?
This is why I'm anti-whippersnapper.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Austin. You're never listening to this.
Shout outs to you.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Ironically, the one guy I've been to San Francisco with. So kind of this movie is by proxy of being set in America and having the most generic names of all time keeps rubbing up against.
It is funny the moment where you had like the shot of different states, and it's like, oh, this is just like when the start of Ultra 7 where they get like the Ultra Guard from all across Japan.
Uh-huh.
I love how fast they get from state to state too. Like
that being said,
no problem.
That being said, the states are like California, Utah, New Mexico, and Louisiana, or where the impacts happened. But I guess like it also takes place in New York a bit.
Louisiana to San Francisco is pretty far.
Yeah. But it's like a lot of the West in the U.S. is represented here.
Yeah.
Like for all you know, near that crash site, there's some guy cooking in his trailer.
Oh yeah.
Walter Freeman, meet Walter White.
Oh my god.
Will Ultraman ever deal with drugs?
Ooh.
I don't think so. I have a feeling the answer is no.
I feel like the answer is no because of just the way Japan is about that stuff.
Exactly.
It looks at the 7th Karanokyo kind of.
Yeah, well, because I was about to say the only time it ever seems to come up is it's one of the indicators of, oh, this is a dark, fucked up thing.
Mel, you steer clear of that super weed, okay? It's dangerous.
I won't get any of the dispensary I can just walk to.
Like, the more anime doesn't really do, like, the thing like Batman Beyond does, where you get, like, the weird little, like, fake drugs that are, like, super unrealistic, so they're safe for kids.
I do think, like,
hear stories about.
Funny enough, Comrade Double has a bit of this, where it's, like, the villains are, like, Yakuza family who, like, trades in, like, the villain power-up devices, which are toys you can buy, but also the monsters are called dopants.
Okay. Yeah.
What a name.
Yeah.
Wow.
Comrade Devil's pretty good.
Is there any other thoughts on this movie? Because I feel like this is pretty...
This is kind of a self-explanatory movie.
Yeah.
This is the most straightforward thing I feel like we watched in a minute.
Yeah.
And we watched pretty straightforward.
Andrew Melos fairly recently.
I mean, at least that has, like, some curves where I'm like, I wasn't expecting where exactly that was going in some ways.
That's true.
Like, I didn't think they were going to go to Earth to get, like, a weird-ass armor. And
Earth,
fight
allegedly.
Nintendo 64 final boss area. I didn't expect the whipping.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. In which case, we might be done talking about this movie. I'm like, whatever. But, it's, it's short.
It's better than Story.
I'm very excited for next week.
Well, yeah. Guess what?
Yeah. One could say I've been waiting, I think, actual years at this point for what we're watching next week.
Fucking Ultra Q movie next week.
Funny enough, that's also the first thing we have for the 90s, so the 80s is officially over.
Let's fucking
go. Thank God. I have no effect. I've slowly become an 80s hater a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you don't want to watch the new season of Stranger Things? That is definitely the end, and they aren't going to milk more of it.
I have a cousin who keeps explaining Stranger Things shit to me after the point I stopped watching, which is about halfway through season 3. That fake a show on planet Earth.
Okay.
That's not true. The next level exists. Or the first level.
I don't even think I know what that is.
The one that's like the anthology show.
The video game one.
Based on various video games, Asterix.
Secret Level.
Secret Level, yes, yeah.
John Wick Armored Core.
The worst Armored Core thing I've seen in my fucking life. That makes me so mad.
There's a Dungeons & Dragons and Warhammer episode, despite those being tabletop properties.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think the funniest one for me is there's a Concord episode, and then Concord got unreleased.
That D&D one was one of the only ones that I thought was okay, and it was because it was literally just, they just made a fantasy short film.
Uh-huh.
That's acceptable.
I just think the Concord run is really, really funny. Like, they had no idea.
Pretty funny. Did they know?
Did they know?
Wow.
I can get into like the extra stuff, like my homework and also the color timers, because there's color timers.
Oh yeah, sure, go for it.
Did they have like a tie-in Scholastic Book Fair novel?
I think they actually, Mill Creek did get like some deal to get, like, there's a new novelization tie-in with a new
that's funny.
Yeah. Yeah. So most of the script seems the same, but there's some other weird changes I noticed. At some parts of the movie, there is like random additional noise added to parts that were silent, or like less like more like more like words added to parts that were like otherwise unworded in the original dub. Like at the air show, where everyone kind of does vague cheering, they replace it with everyone going USA, USA. I'm like, oh no, that's evil. And then after the crash, when you get like the shot of like the base before they get to, like, the interior, in the original dub it was like silent, but in the new one there's you hear the soldiers outside doing drill, and it's like, did you need to add the silence? Did you need to add noise here? In the new dub, the general feels a lot more checked out when he's talking to them. He's like, in the original dub, he's like, oh yeah, just go take a leave. And then the new one, he's like, I don't care, you're all on leave or something.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. That was a weird choice. When they enter the golf club base, Scott in the new dub says, I got a bad feeling about this, in a way that just sounds like a Star Wars reference.
that is absolutely Star Wars.
There's no way it's not, with the way it's delivered. They put a new filter for the new dub. The filter on the robot voices make it harder for me to understand.
Okay.
But Ulysses' new voice actor doesn't have an accent this time.
Okay.
The line delivery of Scott's first reading of Susan, while still the same script wives, does make him sound more like a himbo.
Okay.
The National Guard character in Utah sounds like a parody of the character archetype in the new cartoon, like he's more over the top with a southern accent.
Mm-hmm.
And the German scientist still has a German accent in the new dub.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'd say I'm pretty neutral on like the changes overall. Like, so there's some of these are weird changes, but overall I'm pretty neutral. Okay, it's like, well, it's mostly the same, and like, you know, it doesn't. I don't think it makes a big difference in the end which one you watch.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just like a case of like, it felt weird watching the dub because I watched the original first, the new dub because I watched the original first, and so in some ways I'm like, well, my mind prefers the original because I watched it first, and I don't know if I can trust that feeling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that.
Though it also might be a case of like, I feel like I am getting 2020's voice acting overlaid on top of 80s animation, and there's a disconnect.
Right.
Yes.
Like when
Classic.
I guess when the new C dub, the way it's talked about, like, oh, there's like the new dub is more contemporary than to when Seed was made, kind of thing. Things like that. Or, when they subtitled Shin Man's name as Jack for the 70s show. Things like that. Anyway, color timers. Scott, 7 minutes, 23 seconds, and 2 minutes. Beth, 3 minutes, 29 seconds, and 56 seconds. Chuck, 2 minutes, 47 seconds. And then all three of them in the final battle, 10 minutes, 23 seconds.
Cool.
The sun gives them a time buff.
Yeah. Well, no,
It
first the robots give them like an emergency power-up beam so they can take them to the sun to get a real power-up.
Yeah.
Superman coded.
It is a weird... I don't know if it's intentional, but it is a weird, like, overlap in Superman and Ultraman that they're both powered by the sun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm done.
Cool. Is there anything else we want to say about this movie?
This is pleasant. I'll probably never really think about it too much again.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But
This is
again, none of these characters feel like real people, like at all. These are all cardboard cutouts, but I had a good time watching it.
Yeah, for me, I'm just gonna like, for a thing I put on for a week, and in like a curiosity in like the history of the franchise, I'm like, that is a decent enough time for like a week.
I think it's been so long since I've seen like a late 80s cartoon thing too that I was like, oh, it's kind of novel for me personally, just because it's been a minute since, like, I don't go out of my way to like look at
He-Man.
Yeah, like He-Man. Like, I was not a He-Man kid or anything like that, so.
I don't know. I feel like I occasionally saw a He-Man episode, but like I don't know if that's true.
I've never seen He-Man in my life. I have to assume it's not that good.
No.
My cousin, the same one actually who introduced me to the Guyver, had a He-Man toy that he wasn't allowed to play with because it was like the whole gimmick, and it's probably something based on some shit from the show, but it was like a slime waterfall thing.
Oh, the Oozinator.
Kinda, yeah. But like his mom was like, no, that thing's like, you always make a mess when you use this, so like you get to play with it without the slime part. And he's like, well, I'm just not going to use it then. And it just kind of collected cobwebs and dust in their basement, and like it was down there for years. I think about it often.
Hmm.
Do you?
Every day.
Oh.
What is life but a cobwebbed, slimeless waterfall?
Okay, I believe you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I get to the next section.
Yeah. Join us in a second, or we'll be talking about anything other than Ultraman. Welcome back. I think I've theoretically got nothing. I read a detective novel.
Oh.
A Japanese detective novel from like the 50s or something.
Oh.
So it's like old. It's like.
Was it a Rampo?
No, it's a It's a Kindaichi. What's his name? Seishi Yokomizo. Who had a detective called Kosuke Kindaichi. Who's the Honjin murders guy. I read the Inugami Curse, and it's sort of like, because it's of its era, it is like in many ways like constantly kind of just evil, because it's just constantly doing like, oh well, this character is like has like a shifty face, and this character has like a beautiful face, and and we're doing like physiognomy stuff all the time, and but I think the very, very, very end of the Inugami Curse really pulls the whole thing together, and I'm like, hell yeah, that was great. That was a great detective novel. I kind of clocked what the core thing that the detective was missing was, like, pretty early. I was like, okay, I think I know what's happening here, but like only vaguely, not the specifics. And then the specifics were like, there's all this, it's all the juicy character stuff. But I just think that the murderer and like the big finale of the exposing who the murderer is, and how they behaved, it was very cool. Big fan.
I have six of these paperbacks from the series.
Oh, do you?
Collecting dust on my shelf.
There you go.
I was getting these as they were like
yes.
some publisher has been reprinting like paperbacks of these, and I was getting them contemporaneously as they were coming out, and each time one came out I was like, oh, I'm gonna start reading these. And then at some point, like I think starting with the 7th, I was just like, I need to stop buying these until I actually read some of them.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, the first one's the Honjin Murders, which was pretty good. The actual like mechanics of like the murder, I was like kind of like, I don't really care about, but also the novel's conclusion is the mechanics of how this murder happened really don't fucking matter. What matters is the motivation. Obviously.
Are you gonna watch the movie, which is apparently beloved?
Oh, is there a beloved movie of the Inugami Curse?
Yes, there's a 1976 movie, and specifically the like, because it's like, this is the one with like the body upside down, the legs are sticking out of the ice or something, right? Yeah. Apparently, like the particular shot of that in that movie is like shows up all the time and shit as like a reference to that movie.
But yeah, watch this movie. Yeah.
Apparently the movie is very well liked.
Yeah.
So
I'll probably give it a little bit, but
wait, there was a 2009 From Software DS game?
What?
There's no way in hell this is in English, but what the fuck? Yeah.
I mean, From Software, Inugami,
Yeah, here, it's on their website.
Oh my god. They go.
Oh, this art style looks cool. Look at scroll down to the images.
Oh
this
my
looks sick
god.
as hell.
Oh my god, I want to play this game so bad. The thing is, I already know the mystery is the thing.
Wait, well, while a player as Kendaiichi can follow the canon storyline of the serial killing, what if stories are also possible?
Yes!
They called you out. They were like, we know. People are still going to want the mystery.
Oh, man.
Someone needs to translate this, like, ASAP. This looks cool as hell.
Damn. I've also been gaming. Because I've I'm in my post trails era period, and so I'm like I need to fill the void, and so I was like, I'll start Final Fantasy IV.
Let's go.
That's good. I like it. But
raise his hand.
Yeah.
Which version of Final Fantasy IV?
That would be Final Fantasy IV Naming Way edition. For just the hack, just the ROM hack of the fucking the SNES original.
Okay.
What's the
okay? What's your objection?
No. I that was an inquisitive okay because I needed to refresh myself on what this hack did.
Yeah.
It's just it's. I think it's literally just translation
cleaning up the
stuff.
translation. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
There might be like one or two balancing things in there, but like I'm not too fussed.
Yeah, as long as you ain't playing the 3D version, you're fine.
Oh no! I'm good. I want a nice quick game. Final Fantasy.
This is why you played RPG.
That...
Yeah, Final Fantasy IV is so punchy. It's so good. It's just like so propulsive.
It is very comfortable, like pacing wise. Of like, you're now. There is one part I think towards like the 3/4 mark of that game where it starts to drag a little, but it doesn't last long, fortunately.
I mean, combat is just so quick, and I'm getting the first ATB game and being like, I think I understand. I think I understand the appeal.
Yeah, I had that with Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
How far in are you?
Not very. I just did the Fable stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I picked up the martial artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of if you're gonna do an early doomed town in an RPG, having your guy be the courier who accidentally delivers the doom. Pretty fucking strong.
That was really cool. Yeah. I really like that. And now I've got my, me versus Kain a little bit.
Have you noticed the thing with Tella during level ups yet?
The thing with Tella during level ups yet?
So you're in a part of the game where you've had Tella in the party before, right?
I've had Tella in the party before.
Yeah.
I didn't notice anything.
So I believe this is the case for every version of FF4. But because he's old when he levels up, I believe he actually loses stats.
Oh, that's cool.
I think that's the case. I could be talking out of my ass, but I believe that's the case.
That is cool.
Yeah.
I do like that. Yeah, there's just a lot of good, like, just they're like, well, we're gonna take like the mechanics we've got for Final Fantasy and then use those to tell story with. That just someone in the room was just like, okay, so you know how we had a Dark Knight in Final Fantasy 3? What if there was a guy who was a Dark Knight and that meant that was evil?
Yeah.
Yeah, my impression
of okay, yeah.
My impression of FF4 is just like translating the idea of jobs into like the jobs from 3 into like this is like giving them actual characters with a narrative plot.
Though also technically, I think in FF3... Oh, maybe I'm mistaken. Was it always Dark Knight? For some reason, I thought in FF3 it was Mystic Knight originally, technically. No, I guess it was Dark Knight always. Yeah.
There are some, like... There's been... At some point, it has been referred to as Mystic Knight. I don't know when.
Yeah, it's an FF5. I was getting a mixed round. Yeah, it was Dark Knight first, so yeah.
Okay. And it's just it's a punchy game, but I've also I should at minimum beat, like, I think FF4. I'm still on Etrian Odyssey 1 and Pokemon Red before I even think about doing Trails in the Sky. Yeah, I was talking with Mel about this earlier.
That was when we had our Saga conversation before you hopped on. Or as you hopped on.
I was bored at work and being like, I should figure out what's going on with Saga.
I need to catch her back up on Saga. I feel like a fake fan. Everyone's getting into Saga now, and I've not been there to enjoy it with the rest of everyone. I've still not beaten Scarlet Grace. That game's amazing. I love that game. Never beat it.
Damn. Anyway, yeah, that's kind of me.
Fan subbers.
Oh, I watched Goldeneye yesterday.
I'm worthy of your Scarlet Grace.
Oh, yes. Yes. I watched Goldeneye yesterday for the first time. I'd never seen Goldeneye, somehow.
I mean, I haven't either, but I also... It's not like I'm a Bond watcher.
Yeah, that's a good Bond movie. I watched it basically kind of muted because I put it on and then a bunch of family migrated to the room that I was in. And I was like, oh, okay. Everyone's just talking over the movie, I guess. But you know what? Works perfectly well as a silent movie. I got everything. I didn't really need the plot intricacies. I was like, well, I get it. Sean Bean is like he's the guy from his past, and he hates Bond, and Bond, there's some resentment, and they do the thing, and then anyway.
Everyone look forward to Red's fan-made black and white edition of Goldeneye.
The video game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now a hit video game. Now you have N64 emulations app, and by which I mean, I think there's a decompilation for that one anyway, which for actual keyboard and mouse controls. So
keyboard and mouse control. Oh, that sounds so wrong to me.
Wow.
Oh.
See, that is the thing with those N64 FPSs is you can play them that way. It does make those games a complete joke.
Yeah, this was my thing. This was my thing with people being like, "Oh, if you play Dune 2, like you want to mod it so that you can like box units and like you have a context sensitive cursor." And I was like, but the game's not balanced for that. The game's balanced for the fact that I can only select one unit and I have to go to a bar to select what I want it to do.
I had something like this, not for like, it's not a mechanical thing per se, but like I was having a bit of this last week when I was thinking about like the way people are talking about like the remakes, the many remakes of Dragon Quest VII, and I'm like, I think I just want to play the PlayStation version.
I can already feel myself being a PlayStation truther as the remake comes out.
Well, you don't have to worry on this podcast because I have already years ago made my decision. I was like, I want to play that PlayStation 1 Dragon Quest. I know it's infinity hours long. That's okay.
Because I'm like, maybe there is a reason they did it that way, and everyone else is just like a coward.
Well, I think really it's just the case that they had entered their era of like, we're making one game per system and it's going to be huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like the weird epic scale it does give that game, and maybe it's not the most perfect thing in the world, but I do find it very influential to its identity, and I like the fact it takes 3 hours to get to your first combat encounter. I think it's cool.
Yeah. Anyway, that's me. Who's up?
I have two very minor things that I can talk a little bit about.
Go for it.
I had a week from hell. I mean, beyond just, shit happening in my country, more broadly speaking.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
But now I'm protested again. But yeah, work suddenly just became a nightmare this week on top of, the world. So that's not been fun. I've been kind of busy. I've basically been like, most nights I'm like wrapping up like kind of later than I'd like to, and then just like eating, watching shit on social media, then falling asleep. But I did squeeze in a couple things. So I did reference hating the 80s. Not thinking, it was pretty funny that the one big thing I did this week was I did in fact rewatch Top Gun for the first time since I was like a kid. I was like, I'm getting into Ace Combat.
Ultraman.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I was thinking about that actually while we were watching. I was like, I bet, like, because it was like a year after, and I was like, they were definitely with some of the played stuff, like thinking about some of these sequences. Top Gun is a movie that I remember having fondness for the plane stuff, but like never loving. Boy, is that movie really great when it's up in the sky, and really middling when everyone's on the ground talking. That is such a bizarre romantic subplot where, like, I don't know, I don't want to say it's the performances necessarily, it could be partially directorial or just something, but there's like a weird non-chemistry happening between the two leads, Tom Cruise and, oh my god, I'm forgetting, what's her name? Kelly McGillis, where it feels like they're almost acting past one another. Like, they never quite feel like they're connecting to me. But, like, the movie, propels them towards having sex and being really into it. And it just feels off the entire way through. Everything with Tom Cruise's dad being, like, a legendary pilot who died under mysterious circumstances, and then finding out that actually his dad was a big cock hero who died behind enemy lines, saving all of his comrades, feels very, like, rote. But, boy, do those plane sequences look great. Yeah, I don't know. It's an alright movie. I can understand why Gen X guys are like that about it.
Oh.
But I don't have a particular fondness for it. I did do this because I do at some point want to finally watch Top Gun Maverick, which again, classic guy of a certain age, that was their second coming of Christ. So we'll see how I feel about Maverick.
Yeah, there are a lot of people who are like, well, this is like the greatest movie ever made. And I'm like, I bet that's not true.
They don't make them like that anymore. I like the part where the plane locked on and fired the missile. Can't do that with special effects.
I'm really sure they did.
They probably did.
But what if they didn't? What if they killed a man?
They did kill that guy. There was a guy who died filming Top Gun. I did learn that.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Well, okay, two things I learned. One, there was I can't remember. There's a special term for people that fly planes literally just to be cameramen, which I'm like, that is a wild job to have, and I'm sure you leave that job with a shit ton of weird stories. But yeah, like, reading the description of the guy's death is like they were filming a flight scene and he had to do like a barrel roll or like go upside down or something for like start to spiral the plane a little bit to get the shot. And then he radioed in like, I have a big problem. And then he died. And it's like, damn, that's a rough one.
Yeah.
The second thing I learned.
That reminds me of, like, I think there was like the transcript of like a ship that sank. And like literally the last two like lines of the transcript are like one, like, I don't know what the shipmen. One of them is like, I think we have a problem, and then the other guy goes ruh-roh in a Scooby-Doo voice, and it's carried over into the ship.
Oh dear.
Damn.
And that's like the last thing anyone said on that plane, or not plane, ship.
Damn. The other thing I learned. This movie was based on an article. Which, like, is just something that doesn't happen anymore. like, literally for some magazine, I can't remember if it was Rolling Stone or like, some magazine, but they literally just, like, were like, hey, let's go to, like, the because, like, Top Gun is an actual, like,
from
thing.
California Magazine, the 1983 May issue.
Yeah. They just had a guy... They just had a guy go and talk to two of the new recruits of the Top Gun, like, flight combat school and talk and, like, basically relay their experiences going through the program and graduating. And some, like, at some point, movie people got a hold of this article. They're like, damn, this would be a sick-ass movie. And, like, imagine if that happened these days. Holy shit. Different world.
Damn.
The other thing I did is I watched a family of one dad and his 3 children. Mom passed away. But he's doing an alright job raising those boys.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the first season of Ha Ha You Clowns, the new Adult Swim show.
I see.
I've never heard of this.
Either. Okay, here, let me get a screen cap so you kind of get the vibe of what this looks like.
Okay,
so
I'm looking at this now. This looks ridiculous. This looks like a webcomic.
So this was believe it or not, this was a YouTube animator who taught himself how to animate.
Yeah.
He voices all three of the characters in the family. The father, then sons, Preston, Tristan, and Duncan. All about high school age. Only Preston is old enough to drive and have a job. And you know, it's a wholesome family sitcom experience where they all do their best to get through life and learn lessons along the way, while also dealing with the emotional fallout of the mom passing away relatively-ish recently. So this is a, like, really, really pointed parody of, like, 80s and 90s sitcoms. And the joke is that this family is the most pure and wholesome, like, traditional American, like, family of upstanding good neighbor guys in the world, but the world around them is still kind of, like, normal and modern. And, like, you constantly get scenes of them, like, talking to someone out in, like, the open and them being kind of defensive, and them slowly being worn down and realizing, like, oh no, like, this isn't, like, this guy's a little weird, but he is actually just, like, wholesome and pure. Like, that's half the joke of this show, is that they just feel, like, weirdly out of time and too innocent for this world. And it's great. The episodes are extremely low stakes. The first episode is about how the three sons are disappointed because dad never stays all the way up for movie night. And they think it's because he's tired. But what's actually happening is anytime there's any sort of love sequence in the movie, he's reminded of his late wife and he doesn't want to cry in front of his sons. So he's like, well, I'm gonna go to bed. So they all come up with ways to try to get him to stay up all the way through movie night. Including lacing caffeine and workout products into his coffee. Another episode is about how the oldest son leaves his bomber jacket at a Mexican restaurant, and it goes missing, and that bomber jacket meant the world for him, and now he's, like, really agitated and, like, angry all the time. And everyone else needs to try to find ways to help him accept the loss of his favorite jacket. Really, really funny show. Some really good, like, celebrity cameos in there. Their neighbor is a real life professional pool player lady from, like, the early 2000s.
Okay.
Who has, like, a very short Wikipedia page. But, like, is is friends with also, like, a bunch of different celebrities. Like, it cuts to her one episode and she's just playing pool in the backyard with Sean Astin, and she talks about how she dated Sean Penn for a time. Great character. And yeah, it's just a good 12-minute wholesome experience, and every time I think it's about to get, like, it's gonna try to do something where, like, it leans more towards a typical Adult Swim territory, they pull it back and they play it out as if it were, like, a late 80s sitcom. While the fact that modern culture and shows like this have become so edgy and kind of, like, shocking and abrasive, and this show is choosing to not be like that, is half the joke, and I'm kind of surprised it works as well as it does. Yeah, I've been having a good time with it. The one thing I will note is that there were, like, because this was, like, a series, like, I think, like, 9 to 10 episodes that were, like, 3 minutes each on a guy's YouTube channel, and, like, you can still go out and watch those. And there's an element that they have toned down from those that I do kind of miss, where the mom is a poltergeist that is very obviously haunting the house and her family, and they're just, like, kind of, like, chill with it.
Sorry, for a moment there I was like, like Card Captor Sakura.
But so, like, there's a part there's a part of the second short where the boys and their 3 girlfriends are hanging out in the pool, and then one of them kind of dips under for a second. He goes, "Oh, Dad, Mom's tugging on my toes," and then the dad's just at the grill, and he goes, "Her powers are getting stronger," and then they just move on.
Okay.
It's so good. And like there's very obviously like a somewhat feeling ominous haunting just going on, and they have apparently it's not completely absent, because there was like a Q&A, like ask me anything Reddit thing with the guy, and he said like, "Oh, I feel like you have to, when you're doing it in like 3 minutes, I thought it would be funnier if we did it kind of more in your face, but if I'm getting seasons of like 12 minutes episodes," he's like, "I want it to still be there, but be more like in the background to the point where you might not even notice it." And so far, like the only thing that is there is there is one episode where there's a subplot involving the late mother's she shed. And there is one shot towards the end where you can see a ghostly handprint just appear on the glass of the window. So I hope they do more with that in the second season, because I do kind of think it's a funny bit that like there's some potential there. I just the fact that they move on from it, where they're just like, "Oh yeah, we don't really care," and like, our mom's haunting us, I think is really funny. But good show. I'm liking it a lot.
Nice. Wow. In which case, Mal, what you been up to?
No, I haven't got too much. I did some gaming. I did some anime. I guess I'll start with the anime. I finished a show from last year called Medalist, which is an anime about ice skating.
They made another one.
Yeah. This is a show about a tiny child Blorbo called Inori, who has no confidence and is an anxious mess, but she really likes the idea of ice skating and manages to convince her mom, like, "Listen, this is like the one thing I'm passionate about, can you let me do it?" And she ends up being paired up with her coach Tsukasa, who's like a guy who got into ice skating like really late in life, relatively speaking, so like in high school, and that kind of like meant his professional career couldn't get as far, and they're basically teaming up to help Minori become a medalist, points to the screen. And it's a sports anime, so you kind of know what to expect. Characters are fun.
Are there like rival child Blorbos?
Yes, there's like the main rival girl seems to be Hikaru, who's like seems to be the prodigy aura farming girl who seems to like, she isn't like this, but when she's on the ice she looks evil, but like she's actually just really nice, and she's like very enthusiastic to be Inori's friend, and Inori like wants to be her friend too. But her coach is an asshole. And yeah, there's just like a lot of like goofy moments in the show. Might get some. But yeah, it's been one season, and season 2 is starting in a few weeks, so I'm like, well, I'd better get on that.
Yeah.
There's like
did you see the thing about the main voice actress and the manga author?
No, I didn't.
Apparently in 2018, the manga author tweeted out, because he was a fan of that voice actress, because she played a role in Cinderella Girls U149.
Here's some screenshots.
And he was like, but I guess he was like, "Oh, I would really love to draw a figure skating manga, and if it was made into an anime, I'd really love if she was able to play the main role." And that ended up happening.
Oh, that's fun.
Kind of neat.
That's fun. That reminds me a bit of like, I think there was a time when like Wooly had Kira Buckland guest on his YouTube channel, and she was like, "Damn, I really want to play Jolene in JoJo. I hope that happens," and it did.
Nice.
Let me tell you, if you followed her on social media, she had one passionate dream, and it was that She talked about that all the time, and it was cool that worked out too.
There's a show about funny faces, but also impressive ice skating.
We like a show about funny faces.
Yeah.
Kane Banashi coming soon.
That's true. But yeah. And other than that, I have finished. Not finished. I'm continuing the Goemon journey. I have finished the second game on the Super Nintendo.
Nice.
This one's pretty good.
How did you like it compared to the first?
I think I like this one better. This one takes an interesting approach because it shifts to more of a platformer. Like in the first Super Nintendo game, like the platformer stages were like dungeons in a way. I also felt like there was a bit like they're a bit Castlevania. Was the comparison, like the momentum, like it was a bit like stiff in a way that I didn't appreciate. And this one, the movement's a bit more normal. I felt it was a less frustrating experience overall. And so it's kind of like you have a world map laid out, Super Mario World style, you know what to expect. Putting it in the chat. And you go through levels, though, and they're kind of like bite-sized platform levels, but also you still have the towns, and that's where like the more conventional Goemon gameplay is. Like, oh yeah, there's a town, you go around and get some upgrades and stuff. Except this time, there are no enemies in the actual stages themselves, in the town stages themselves. They're like, oh, if you hit the civilians, the police are going to come get you, so don't actually hit people in the towns. It's also interesting seeing them like rework stuff from the previous games in this new format where it's like mechanically different. This entry is also notable because it's the one which introduces Goemon's giant mecha, the Impact, which you get like three stages where you have like boss fights, and like first you have like he gets in the robot, and there's like an extended sequence where like go put in some screenshots. You get in like the cockpit, and first you have Windows is stupid with the order it sends images when you send multiple. But anyway, you get in the cockpit, and then like the first is a stage where the robot like is running along the ground and destroying buildings and stuff like that. That's supposed to be the enemy bases. And then like after that sequence is done, you have a first person basically punch out boss fight.
Yeah. And
those are the hardest parts of the game, in my opinion. Mostly because like trying to figure out what you want to do. But it's kind of it's neat, it's interesting, a wrinkle. And spoilers for the end of the game. The fun gimmick is that after you beat the main villain, the true final boss is he hijacks your mecha, so you actually have to defeat your mecha.
I see.
Which is fun. The plot of the game seems to be like in like a parody of Commodore Perry, a strange general called McGinnis has come from somewhere else, and he's like, I'm gonna bring bunny culture to Japan, and like there's an army of bunnies coming, and like, well, we have to defeat him to save Japanese culture or whatever.
I see.
These games have just gotten more and more goofy and comedic as time has gone on. The world of the final stage is like, we have to, through impact, get into the flying castle, and this the final world map looks like.
I see. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Also notable, this is the first game where you kind of have like three playable characters. I think like the two before this, you could technically play like Goemon's friend Abisumaru as like a second player co-op, but this is the first time you can pick between characters as you want. You can play as Goemon, Abisumaru, and a robot ninja called Sasuke, who is one of the more fun characters. He's a lot faster, and he can attack people with his hair too, as well as kunai. And the only annoying thing is that you have to in order to change the character you're playing as, you have to reboot the game and reload your save file. But like you're not locked to one character per save file, thankfully. There's a GBA port of this game, which I think like lets you switch characters on the fly with a select button, and I don't know if that's the best way to band-aid solution to be better, but like it's something. Also, I wouldn't want to play this game on the GBA, but like I wouldn't mind a hack that like lets it switching easier without like having to go all the way to the rebooting the console. But
Mm-hmm.
also, after you beat the game, there's like there's a secret town you can get early on in the game that's like a carnival where you can play a bunch of mini games, including like a level of a shmup and stuff. And like if you go back to the carnival when you beat the mini game, when you beat the game, you can play the hard versions of those mini games, and then you get like a bunch of stamps, and it lets you get the super secret level, which is hell, because in the second game, you can get sent to hell if you do something bad in towns, like hitting a Buddha statue.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And one of the funniest things is in this, because this especially in this level, but also in other ones, you can get cameos of different other Konami characters. In this carnival, like amusement park stage, one of the different houses has a certain Silent Belmont saying, "Oh, I sense Dracula's presence in Japan. Well, wouldn't you know who the boss you fight at the end of the secret hell level?"
I see.
Dracula.
Oh, that's just literally just doing the shit too.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's fun. So yeah, this is a good game. I liked it.
Nice.
Definitely recommend it. I think I'm enjoying the series as I go. Definitely a case of like, oh damn, I'm glad these are fan translated, because like these are, because of the lack of translations, they feel like underrated gems, and it's nice to go through them. And they're also not long, which is nice as well, you know, being NES or Super Nintendo games, so that also helps. And I'm kind of curious, like the next two also shake up the gameplay a fair amount, and I'm curious to see what things remain like consistent versus what things remain different. Like I think the third one, which is next, is going for more of a Link to the Past style thing. Which maybe is retreating from the platformer focus of the second one, going back to more of like the traditional style. And I think the fourth one also maybe is closer to the second one than the third and first one. So we'll see. It's been an interesting journey so far.
Nice. Wow.
That's me.
That's kind of a podcast. Do we have emails?
Let me check if we got emails.
Anyone have any hot takes about Chuck?
Yeah.
So get someone email in, like, actually I directed this.
Yeah.
No one emailed in about
No one emailed.
American Ultraman.
That is a podcast then.
Yes.
So yes, like we said earlier, next week that is fucking
we should do some
the
housekeeping
movie.
maybe, because we figured out there's some weirdness in the coming weeks.
Yes. So next week is Ultra Q the movie.
At last.
Now, the week after that, we're going to start Ultraman Great. We're going to watch the first 3 episodes. The week after that...
The reason being, the week after that is Brad is at Frosty Faustings.
Yeah,
so that's when we're going to finish Golden Kamuy.
We're going to finish Golden Kamuy.
This also means that, because like it's like, you know, the weirdness of like we got all these one-offs, but also starting a season, but also it's a short season, but also Frosty's, and also Omega is ending. It means like a whole bunch of weird things are...
Yeah, we're entering a bit of a confusing period, but you know we'll hold your hand. We've got you. Don't you worry. Don't you worry
so,
your pretty little head about anything, dearest listener.
Yeah. So technically speaking, like this coming, like I guess that when you listen to this, like tomorrow is the end of Omega, but we're pushing back our final Omega episode into February.
Yeah.
So next week Ultra Q movie. Then a week after that we're starting Great. Week after that we're finishing Golden Kamuy. The week after that, we're doing another episode of Great, but we're doing the Omega finale that week as well.
Yeah, and that's as far as we'll go today.
Yeah, and like Great is short anyway; it's like 4 weeks total. So
yeah. Wow. Thank you for listening. Look forward to next week. I am.
Yeah.
And bye for now. I have one last thing to mention. I did look up the guy who wrote the article for the Top Gun article, and he went after writing the magazine piece. He went back to Israel, where he researched and wrote another impactful military-themed book, No Margin for Error: The Making of the Israeli Air Force. Sorry. There we go.
Plugs.
Oh, I'm stupid. Yes, plugs. If you want to find... I name is so dumb. If you want to find us online, you can do so at ultra_QUEUE on Twitter. We're also on Blue Sky at ultraQUEUE. No underscores on Blue Sky. I am also at Blue Sky. I am Red November. That's mine. Mel.
Hi. You can send an email to ultraqpod@gmail.com. Also, we have a coffee, UltraQ Fund.
Sick. Brad.
You can find me at Blue Sky because I decided I'm literally never going back to Twitter ever due to recent events. I'm B invoked. That's BEINVOKED, no space on Blue Sky.
All right.
Anti shoutouts to Grok. What the fuck, dude? That's crazy.
Yeah. Multiple, people, members of MPs, like British MPs, have been asked, like, so why are you still on Twitter? And responses are really funny. It's just like people be like, you just don't want to be off Twitter. You just don't want to give it up.
It's funny seeing like Western countries being treated by Twitter the way that like countries the US is trying to like attack have been treated.
Yeah, let me find this fucking.
How Twitter changed the Iranian flag to the monarchist flag.
Asked why government ministers are continuing to use a website that is generating child sexual abuse images, Minister O'Donovan responded, "Well, look, that's a personal choice for people."
That's not. Well.
Anyway, goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.
Later.
That's a hell of a note to end a podcast on. I'm hitting stop.
誰が呼んでるのか地平線見えないだけど感じ合える友情はテレパシー孤独じゃないさ君はいつでも空を越えて急げ戦いが始まる愛を知った日から僕たちは負けない立ち上がれ今力合わせて生まれ変わるんだスカイハイ今こそヒーローこの胸にあふれる愛こそパワー遠い空へ飛び立ってゆく日も愛はずっと君を守ってる必ず眩しい夢を眠らせないでいつかきっと会える風の中どこかで信じ合った心それだけが絆さ強くなって